Hi, I am Marco Minervini. I'm a postdoctoral fellow at INSEAD, and I'm presenting the paper I wrote with TianyuHe of NUS and PhanishPuranam from INSEAD that was awarded the Behavioral Strategy Best Paper Award for the Strategic Management Conference of 2021. The research question we try to address is how do interacting and non-interacting groups differ in their search behaviors and performance in parallel search problems. And we believe that this question is particularly relevant in light of the pandemic shock and the emergence of more hybrid working. And these settings allow managers to have a higher possibility to design the presence or absence of social interaction among their group members. And so it becomes extremely important for them to understand when to allow and facilitate this social interaction among group members and when not. To address this question, we use data from Kaggle. Kaggle is a website hosting a multiplicity of data science competitions, and the winners of these data science competitions are the ones that will produce the most accurate predictive models that would basically solve a prediction problem like which transaction is a fraud. The winners might win prizes that could be as big as $1 million. While they are searching for the most accurate predictive model, they would produce a multiplicity of these models. And luckily we can observe both how many search attempts they would perform, so how many of these models they would produce, and also how varied these attempts are. But in addition to that, what is also interesting about this empirical setting, and especially the about 120 competitions that we study, is that contestants in these competitions might be either groups or individuals. So what we try to do is to build zero interaction counterfactuals to real group contestants. So let's say a group is composed by member A, B, and C. What we do is that we identify individual contestants A prime, B prime, and C prime that are similar in terms of observable characteristics to the real group members. And these observable characteristics are past experience, skills, and propensity to compete in groups. So at the end, we have a set of interacting real groups that we're going to compare with zero interaction synthetic groups. So what we observe is that zero interaction groups would produce more varied models. So they would explore more. And they do that due to the fact that they avoid the tendency to copy successful behavior and hence prematurely converging on some solutions that characterizes the socially interacting groups. But what we really add to the picture, also from a theoretical point of view, given that there was a variable that was not considered before, is that interacting groups do produce more search attempts than instead the non-interacting ones. And this increase in search attempts is mostly ascribable to the status competition that may derive from the exposure to other group members. And in a mediation analysis, we show that both factors, so both exploration and the number of search attempts, significantly mediate the relationship between social interaction and group performance, measured as the ability of groups to identify the best accurate predictive models. But they significantly mediate this effect in opposite direction. In our specific setting, which is a crowdsourced setting where exploration is particularly valuable, we observe the non-interacting groups significantly outperform interacting ones. To conclude, we have been asked why we believe the paper won the award, and we believe it won the award at least due to one of the three main contributions that the paper makes. From a theoretical point of view, we add an additional channel through which social interaction in groups affect their search performance in parallel search problems. And if we were not to add this additional channel, we might have the tendency from a theoretical point of view to overestimate the instances where non-interacting groups might outperform interacting groups. And we can basically tell managers that they never have to let their group members to interact. From a methodological point of view, we make a refinement of the nominal group technique, but in the interest of time, I'm not covering it. And from an empirical point of view, we contribute to the existing literature by adding some empirical evidence from a real-world, highly incentivized settings and testing hypotheses that were commonly explored only through lab experiments.